2 weeks ago today, part two of my special report on the troubles in downtown Duluth aired. It focused on the surging number of people who need help from social services and the impact all that pressure is having on those in need, as well as the nonprofits, businesses, and longtime residents downtown. And we also looked at how there's an increase in criminals taking advantage of all those vulnerable people downtown. Well, now law enforcement is hitting back. Today, the city announced a slew of arrests made by the Lake Superior Violent Offender Task Force downtown. 14 people taken into custody on charges ranging from drug sales to possession to obstruction, with many of the people arrested on outstanding warrants. Authorities say the so-called crime impact detail was the result of community safety concerns and complaints regarding illegal activity downtown. Now, here's a look at some of what officers confiscated during the details: guns, cash, drugs. The city says a particular focus was placed on criminals who prey upon vulnerable individuals struggling with addiction, including those who exploit people through drug sales, threats of violence, and other criminal conduct. Authorities went on to say that this is part of an ongoing effort to respond to community concerns, increase the visibility of law enforcement in areas experiencing criminal activity, and improve safety for residents, visitors, businesses, and those who live and work downtown. As we pointed out in the July 30th special report, calls for service and crime downtown reached new heights in 2025. You can find parts 1 and 2 of our downtown special reports using our Northern News Now app.